Kenya is in a very special space in terms of green energy today. We are not talking about so much resilience, we're not talking about so much transitioning, because we are almost there. If we were able to retire our diesel generation and go e-mobility and do the things that we need to do, because the space in energy generation in Kenya is basically, we are not going coal, we are getting out of fossil fuel, and I want to believe that Kenya is in a special space to harness some of those resources in the county space, in small hydros, in solar. That will also help us to balance the grid. Kenya today generates most of its power on the eastern area of the country, and if Western Kenya can help us and do more of, and the rest of the counties, in Mandera, in Wajir, in Marsabit, if we can do some of those mini grids that EU has significantly come out. The German government, I was meeting the ambassador the day before yesterday, after we were able to meet that deadline to sign the 45 million euros to do the uprating of Olkaria 1 and 4 to get an additional 40 megawatts. And we're forever grateful to the support we're getting from the development partners in building up the capacity on energy for this country. And because access to power through the last mile programs is a very popular program for the leadership in parliament, in the county government, and even for Senate, we're basically saying when national government puts money in whatever budget through rural electrification and renewable energy corporation, can we have a matching fund, a structured matching fund to be put through the CDF, devolved funds in CDF, which comes through parliament, through the share of revenue, which comes through the county government. And we are looking at, we can build another 4 billion together through the accelerated priority program, since we do believe that access to energy is a priority for county governments, a priority for our leadership in parliament, is a priority for the senators. And therefore, if they can give us a matching fund, and the national government really pushes another 4 or 5 billion, we'll have enough money to move the access to power in Kenya from 75%, a number way above the African average today, to 100% in a very short while. And so that's why I want us to come together with the leadership in the county government, in the National Assembly, in Senate, to basically ratify this policy and ensure that we work on access to energy for our people in the shortest possible time. In the past decade, Kenya has increased its electricity generation capacity from 1,600 megawatts some 8-9 years ago to 3,300 today. We have made great strides towards that. And of course, with the completion of the Ethiopia-Kenya line, which gives us 200 megawatts today, the interconnection that supports power trade with our regional neighbors, and that will facilitate power trade is an area that we have also worked on together with the development partners, and that will accelerate universal electrification as we work together to improve even the intertrade in the African market. Our current connectivity stands at 75% of all Kenyan households from 29% in 2013. Doubtlessly, the increased connectivity and access to affordable energy in the country has led to increased economic activity, creation of jobs, provided more of our children with light they need to study in the evening, and open up new possibilities for small, medium, and large businesses alike. As we sit here in Naivasha today, we have two special economic zones, one developed by government, the national government, and the infrastructure, the railway is already expend so much money to ensure that we are able to be distance neutral to the port of Mombasa. For manufacturers who choose to work from the energy zone of Naivasha, green energy zone of Naivasha, we will be seeking to give energy to the industry, what you would call captive power, not through Kenya Power, but give them directly so that we avoid the cost of transmission and truly seek to be that destination that provides cost advantage to global firms so that they can see Kenya as the choice, right destination to operate from. Zero distance to port by having the railway. We have another special economic zone which is being developed by KenGen, and that will be seeking to modify the regulations a bit to allow captive power to move out of KenGen straight to industry without going through the Kenya Power Network. So we'll continue to work together to actualize some of those aspirations, and we can only, and we should assure Kenya, our Kenyans, of a bright future.
In the resource mobilization pillar, the ministry has mobilized funding from various bilateral and multilateral funding institutions, out of which the counties are engaged actively and participating. Such projects include, but not limited to, promoting climate-friendly cooking in Kenya, supported by Green Climate Fund and GIZ, Kenya Off-Grid Solar Access Program, funded by the World Bank, Sustainable Energy Technical Assistance Project, supported by EU. This energy sector induction workshop for county government has been convened to create awareness on the integrated national energy plan and to expound on the county energy planning process. I have been informed, and the speakers before me have confirmed, that there has been intensive interaction and exchange information on these issues during the conference. We look forward to continued engagement in the energy planning space with a view of ultimately ensuring that access to affordable quality energy for all Kenyans. Indeed, today, Kenya it is as where it is because of devolution. And borrowing from the summit, the recent concluded summit by the Council of Governors, HE, the President, Deputy, and the Cabinet. Indeed, the two arms of government and the entire government has to work together. And in that spirit, that even us within the Ministry of Energy, the CECs, we have to work together with our development partners to ensure that at least Kenya, we get access to power by 2028, we get clean cooking by 2028, and more so importantly, realizing that we have a 91% grid that is green, then we need to industrialize our nation so that we create